Hello, this is Roy Ivey, and this is Sci-Fi History. We're going to be looking at TOBOR, the eighth man.
There's a prehistoric monster who came from outer space, created by the Martians to destroy the human race. The FBI is helpless, it's 20 stories tall. What can we do? Who can we call? The eighth man. The eighth man. Faster than a rocket. And a jet. He's the mighty robot. He's the one to get. The eighth man. Quick, call TOBOR, the mightiest robot of ever.
Eighth Man. This is the story of how I, Eighth Man.
On this episode of Sci-Fi History, and see why he was such a revolutionary character. Join me, won't you? Eight Man is a manga anime character created in 1963 and is believed to be Japan's earliest cyborg superhero. Eight Man was produced by Aiken and TCJ Entertainment and broadcast on the Tokyo Broadcasting Network, and it ran from November 17, 1963 to December 31st, 1964, with a total of 56 episodes and a special episode, Goodbye to Eighth Man. Eight Man was produced on the cheap and was made to be black and white. This fit the series fine because it had sort of a film noir look to it, and the series was very moody and mysterious. Murdered by criminals, Detective Brady's body was retrieved by Dr. Genius and taken back to his laboratory. Genius then performed an experiment that had failed 7 times before. Brady is the 8th subject to have his life essence transferred into an android body. This time, it succeeds. Brady is reborn as the armored-skinned android 8-Man, able to dash at incredible speeds, as well as shapeshift into other people. 8-Man takes on the civilian identity of TOBOR from the TOBOR Detective Agency. Only Dr. Genius and his chief, Bumblethumbs, knows his true identity. 8-Man begins his career of fighting crime. He even brings in his own murderers. To rejuvenate his powers, he uses his energy cigarettes, which he keeps in a cigarette case on his belt, to recharge. In the North American version, it is known as TOBOR, the 8th Man, a slight change from 8 Man. And it is clearly directed towards a wider audience. As such, much of the violence is toned down for the Western audience. Still, the show is much grittier than other cartoon fare. There are often stories within stories, and it has a Casablanca flair. Now, due to the change in cigarette advertising laws in the 1960s, characters were not allowed to be seen smoking, and 8 Man was unfortunately had to be pulled from U.S. broadcast. 8 Man is now available on YouTube because the copyright holder failed to renew his copyright. Happy day. 8 Man broke new ground. I'm not so sure I would call him a cyborg since he didn't have any biological components and only the downloaded memories of Peter Brady. But it certainly did add humanity to his character. Let's take a look at the Japanese version of the intro to 8 Man.
光る海、光る大空、光る大地、有効無限の地平線、走れヘイトマン、雨よりも早く、叫べ胸を張れ、鋼鉄の胸を。
I was surprised to see that the same tune is used in the Japanese version as well as the Western version of the titles to 8 Man. The title sequence for TOBOR the 8th Man was created by an American company here in the United States, which explains why the animation doesn't actually coincide with the series. 8 Man himself is off. TOBOR himself doesn't look like TOBOR. He's just a guy in a suit, and he jumps out a window and he flies to meet a giant alien monster. Something that also never happened in the series. TOBOR never fought an alien monster in the series. Also, it was established many times that 8th Man can't fly. He can leap very far, but he can't fly. He was certainly flying it, but I'll forgive him. It was all good fare. He even managed to work in a little base, Americanize 8th Man a bit. I also noticed that in the beginning of the American sequence with the jumping in and out of the window, it was very reminiscent of the adventures of Superman. Even the wink at the end. Boy, that was real fun. I'm glad I had a chance to share that with you, and I hope that you're here next week for even more fun. Join me here. Bye-bye.